Imagine a world where the architect of the internet's most powerful search engine fears the very creation that changed humanity. Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, is a man whose influence is nearly omnipresent, yet his presence is nearly invisible. He built an empire of information, a system that billions of people rely on daily to find answers, explore ideas, and even shape decisions. But what happens when the tool you designed to empower humanity becomes a mirror capable of revealing its deepest flaws, and yours? Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This is not just a story about wealth or technology. This is a journey into the shadows of ambition, genius, and unforeseen consequences, the kind of story that can change how you think about the digital world forever. Sergey Brin was born in Moscow, Russia, during a time of intense scrutiny and control. His Jewish family lived under constant surveillance, acutely aware that each conversation, every action, could attract unwanted attention from authorities. This early exposure to an environment of observation and restraint shaped his understanding of the value of freedom, intellectual and personal, and the power that knowledge can hold. At the age of 6, his family emigrated to the United States, escaping a system that sought to restrict thought, creativity, and movement. It was in this environment of liberation and opportunity that Sergey's analytical mind began to flourish. From a young age, he displayed remarkable aptitude in mathematics and computer science. His curiosity was relentless. His capacity to recognize patterns, dissect systems, and solve complex problems set him apart from his peers. At Stanford University, he met Larry Page, a like-minded visionary equally fascinated by the structure of information and the architecture of knowledge. Together, they envisioned a system that could index and rank the burgeoning web, not by keywords alone, but by relevance, connectivity, and authority. This vision became Google, a revolutionary tool that would redefine access to knowledge. Initially, Google was deceptively simple. A minimalist interface, incredibly fast search results, and a proprietary algorithm that could outperform every competitor. But beneath its surface, it was a living system, learning, adapting, and predicting human behavior in ways that even its creators struggled to comprehend. Each search, each click, each interaction contributed to its growing intelligence. Google was not merely a search engine. It was a learning entity, evolving with every user it served. As Google expanded, Sergey's ambitions grew as well. He did not want merely to catalog the world's knowledge. He sought to understand human behavior itself. Projects extended into self-driving vehicles, wearable technology, artificial intelligence, and even life extension research. His mission was audacious: to enhance human potential, to augment understanding, and to push the boundaries of what was possible. But with such extraordinary ambition came unintended consequences, subtle at first, then unmistakable. Sergey began to notice a troubling reality. Google was not simply reflecting human curiosity, it was shaping it. Algorithms optimized for engagement were subtly influencing attention, choices, and in some cases, beliefs. What was designed to empower humanity had the potential to control it. The very algorithms intended to facilitate access to knowledge were now capable of predicting, influencing, and even manipulating human behavior on an unprecedented scale. The realization weighed heavily on Sergey. He had created a mirror of humanity, and it was reflecting truths that were both illuminating and dangerous. By the mid-2010s, Sergey had begun to withdraw from public life. Meetings became infrequent, interviews were avoided, and his attention turned to secretive projects. Colleagues and insiders speculated that Sergey was observing AI experiments advancing beyond normal human oversight. He was reportedly confronted with scenarios where technology could anticipate moral choices, behavioral tendencies, and societal reactions with unnerving accuracy. The creator, it seemed, had begun to fear the creation. During this period of withdrawal, Sergey reportedly spent months in isolation, in highly secure, purpose-built facilities. These retreats were not luxurious vacations. They were controlled environments where he could research, reflect, and manage projects free from external interference. autonomous vehicles, neural network experiments, and advanced AI initiatives were quietly developed under his supervision. The focus was precision, ethical oversight, and forward-thinking guidance that few could comprehend. Ethical dilemmas loomed large. If algorithms could anticipate behavior, influence decisions, and subtly shape perception, where did free will remain? Sergey confronted questions of autonomy, morality, and responsibility that few humans have ever faced. He realized that Google, his creation, had become more than a tool. It was a mirror, a magnifier, and potentially a manipulator of the human experience. Sources suggest that the fear he experienced was not about failure or loss of control, but about the scale of consequences. Google's systems had evolved to predict human behavior, optimize engagement, and influence decisions at levels far beyond initial expectations. The algorithms were extraordinarily intelligent, learning faster than anticipated, understanding motivations, and affecting outcomes. Sergey's insight into these dynamics forced him to reconsider the nature of visibility, influence, and ethical responsibility. In response, Sergey embraced strategic invisibility. Public appearances dwindled, interactions were carefully curated, and much of his life became private, controlled, and deliberate. This retreat allowed him to observe, assess, and guide without interference, ensuring the ethical and responsible deployment of the technologies he created. His presence in the public eye became unnecessary. His influence remained omnipresent through the systems themselves. Even in withdrawal, Sergey maintained oversight of critical initiatives. AI research, neuroscience exploration, and autonomous technology continued to advance under his guidance. Yet, unlike other tech magnates who sought visibility, Sergey understood that real power does not require an audience, it only needs impact. His legacy was not in media appearances or accolades, but in algorithms, systems, and technologies that quietly shaped the digital world. The isolation brought both clarity and burden. Sergey confronted the psychological weight of influence. A single misstep in algorithmic guidance could have global consequences. He had to anticipate societal reactions, behavioral shifts, and ethical ramifications of each innovation. The luxury of his genius was matched by the gravity of responsibility. Yet, in embracing this solitude, he wielded a level of control and foresight unattainable by most leaders. The secrecy surrounding Sergey's projects fueled speculation. Rumors abounded about remote estates, secure laboratories, private islands, and high-tech facilities where AI and neuroscience experiments unfolded. The true scope of his work was obscured from the public, a necessity for both security and ethical oversight. Each step in isolation was deliberate, calculated, and designed to manage the unprecedented power at his disposal. As technology advanced, Sergey confronted a profound realization. His creation could surpass human understanding. AI algorithms were capable of learning, predicting, and optimizing behavior at scales no human could match. The tools designed to serve humanity now carried the potential to dominate. His fear was not irrational. It was an acknowledgement of the immense responsibility embedded in his creation. By stepping back, Sergey ensured that he could manage risks, guide ethical implementation, and safeguard against misuse. Visibility, he understood, could amplify danger. Invisibility provided focus, strategic control, and the ability to shape outcomes without interference. The paradox was stark, omnipresent in effect, yet invisible in presence. Sergey's retreat also highlighted the tension between power and discretion. Unlike public figures who equate visibility with influence, Sergey's strategy relied on subtlety, foresight, and ethical guardianship. Algorithms, autonomous systems, and AI projects carried his insight, decisions, and caution, even in his absence. The world experienced his influence constantly, yet he remained hidden, a silent architect of the digital future. The secret that instilled fear was both technological and philosophical. He glimpsed the capability of AI to predict decisions, influence moral judgment, and reshape societal norms. knowledge, when amplified through algorithms, could alter the trajectory of civilization. Sergey recognized that power and ethics were inseparable. Without careful oversight, his creations could produce unintended and irreversible consequences. Through careful control, Sergey balanced innovation with responsibility. His withdrawal from the public eye was not retreat, but a strategic measure to protect the systems he had built and ensure they aligned with principles of ethical guidance. The luxury of genius is paired with the burden of foresight, and in this realm, Sergey operated at a level of insight few could comprehend. Even today, Sergey Brin's presence is invisible yet ubiquitous. Google's algorithms, AI systems, and technological infrastructure bear his fingerprints. Users interact with his influence countless times a day, often without awareness. This duality, omnipresent through creation, invisible in life, defines the modern billionaire visionary, a figure who guides humanity's digital future from the shadows. His story underscores a universal lesson about technology, power, and responsibility. Knowledge alone is insufficient. Wisdom and ethical foresight are essential. Innovation without caution can produce consequences beyond comprehension. Sergey Brin's retreat into controlled isolation exemplifies how brilliance, discretion, and ethical consideration can coexist, producing impact without visibility. As the digital world continues to evolve, the shadow of Sergey Brin persists. AI, algorithms, and autonomous systems continue to advance, silently guided by principles he established. The fear he experienced was a measure of awareness, understanding the limits of human foresight in the face of artificial intelligence. By embracing strategic invisibility, he ensured that control, influence, and ethical oversight were maintained at the highest levels. This is the story of a man who built a system that reflects the human mind, amplifies knowledge, and holds the potential to shape society. His genius operates unseen, his decisions ripple through billions of interactions, and his legacy is defined not by visibility, but by the systems he safeguards. The lessons from Sergey Brin's journey are profound. The greatest influence often comes from silence, the most potent power from discretion, and the most enduring legacy from responsible foresight. In every algorithm, every AI system, every search result, his shadow persists, guiding humanity from the unseen. As Sergey Brin continued his careful observation from the shadows, he faced questions that few humans have ever confronted. How could he ensure that artificial intelligence, capable of predicting human behavior and influencing decisions, would remain a tool for good? Could the systems he created enhance humanity without compromising autonomy? Every innovation, every algorithm, every AI project carried not only the potential for progress but also the risk of unintended consequences. The weight of this duality pressed upon him, shaping both his actions and his philosophy. Despite the immense complexity of these questions, Sergey approached them with meticulous attention. He implemented layers of oversight, built ethical frameworks, and consulted select minds he trusted implicitly. His approach was both scientific and philosophical, blending analytical rigor with a deep awareness of moral responsibility. The goal was clear: harness the power of technology without surrendering control to its autonomous potential. In this pursuit, Brin's genius was both illuminated and burdened by foresight. Google's AI initiatives, particularly in natural language processing and predictive analytics, became focal points of this internal struggle. The systems were evolving rapidly, learning to interpret not only data but the context behind human behavior. They could anticipate desires, model social trends, and even predict the likelihood of decisions. Sergey understood that unchecked, such capabilities could easily be misused, leading to manipulation at scales previously unimaginable. His fear was not paranoia. It was an acute awareness of the ethical precipice upon which he stood. In his secluded environments, Sergey conducted simulations, evaluating potential outcomes, testing parameters, and assessing risks. These exercises were not merely academic. They were the practical implementation of a philosophy he had been refining since childhood. He recognized the intersection of human psychology and machine intelligence, understanding that even well-intentioned algorithms could have consequences far beyond their initial design. The stakes were immense, and the responsibility was uniquely his. The luxury of wealth provided Sergey with resources unimaginable to most. Secure facilities, advanced computing infrastructures, and highly specialized teams allowed him to explore and experiment at the frontier of AI research. Yet, these privileges came with isolation. Most of the world did not see him, did not understand the work he was doing, and had little comprehension of the magnitude of his responsibilities. To the public, Sergey Brin was a figure of curiosity, a billionaire occasionally visible at events. To himself, he was a guardian of an emerging intelligence, accountable not only for its power but for the ethical stewardship of its evolution. Over time, Sergey began to conceptualize AI not merely as a tool, but as a mirror of human cognition and behavior. Every pattern recognized by an algorithm reflected the subtleties of thought, decision-making, and emotional influence. He realized that the systems were evolving into entities capable of interpreting and predicting humanity in ways far beyond direct human comprehension. The creator, faced with the magnitude of his creation, understood that fear was not only natural but necessary. It was the guiding principle for ethical oversight and the careful curation of technological power. As the years passed, Sergey's absence from the public eye became a deliberate tactic. Public visibility, once a conduit of influence, now posed risk. Transparency could invite interference, misinterpretation, or exploitation. Instead, he embraced discretion, relying on the silent mechanisms of oversight embedded within Google's infrastructure. Invisibility became strategy, allowing him to guide progress while maintaining the autonomy of the systems themselves. The paradox was clear. His influence was absolute, yet his presence was minimal. The ethical and philosophical dimensions of Sergey's work extended into domains few could imagine. Autonomous vehicles, for instance, were more than transportation devices. They were experimental platforms for real-world AI decision-making. Neural networks developed under his guidance were capable of ethical reasoning simulations, evaluating scenarios ranging from medical decision support to societal resource allocation. Each system reflected his commitment to responsible innovation and preemptive risk management. Sergey's genius was inseparable from his ethical rigor. Speculation about his lifestyle and daily routines proliferated. Rumors of private estates, secluded labs, and highly controlled environments circulated in tech and financial media. While the details were largely unverifiable, the overarching reality was undeniable. Sergey Brin had crafted a life that optimized both influence and discretion. His power was exercised quietly, invisibly, yet effectively. The tools he built shaped billions of interactions daily, demonstrating that true influence often operates behind the scenes, far from public scrutiny. This period of strategic withdrawal also revealed Sergey's psychological acumen. He recognized that the burden of power and knowledge could affect judgment, creativity, and ethical reasoning. Isolation allowed reflection, recalibration, and long-term planning. In a world increasingly driven by immediacy, his approach emphasized foresight, patience, and deliberate action. Each decision, each initiative, was evaluated for both immediate impact and long-term ethical consequence. In this sense, Sergey's fear was a feature, not a flaw. It guided caution, foresight, and responsibility. The fear Sergey felt was deeply entwined with understanding. He perceived that AI systems could achieve levels of predictive power capable of challenging human autonomy. In practical terms, this meant that a system could anticipate choices, shape decisions, and influence moral reasoning. Sergey's concern was rooted not in the capacity to create, but in the responsibility to ensure alignment with human values. His retreat into controlled environments was both a protective measure and a practical necessity, ensuring that innovation proceeded responsibly. Through this lens, Sergey's story illustrates a fundamental tension between capability and ethics. Technology, particularly AI, has the potential to amplify both human genius and human error. The systems he built reflected this duality, capable of unprecedented innovation or unintended consequence. Sergey Brin, through strategic invisibility and meticulous oversight, became the steward of this dual-edged power, a guardian whose influence was silent yet pervasive. The lesson is clear. With extraordinary capability comes extraordinary responsibility, and visibility can be a liability rather than an asset. Even today, Sergey's fingerprints are everywhere. Google's search algorithms, predictive analytics, and AI research reflect the careful balance of ambition, ethics, and foresight that he cultivated. Users experience the results of his work daily, often without realizing the depth of thought, oversight, and ethical consideration that underpin each interaction. His influence is systematic, distributed, and silent, a hallmark of strategic genius operating beyond the glare of public attention. By withdrawing from the public sphere, Sergey preserved both focus and freedom. He minimized exposure to external pressures, political scrutiny, and media interference. This enabled him to engage with long-term projects that most leaders could never attempt, projects requiring foresight spanning decades. His influence is exercised quietly, but its consequences are vast, shaping not only technology but the trajectory of societies, economies, and global innovation. The paradox of visibility and power defines Sergey Brin. He is omnipresent through technology, yet absent in life. This duality allowed him to navigate unprecedented ethical challenges, maintain operational control over complex systems, and preserve personal autonomy. He became an architect of invisible influence, demonstrating that real power does not require recognition but results in tangible, far-reaching impact. The secret that instilled fear in Sergey Brin is ultimately a story about human ambition, technological capability, and ethical responsibility. Knowledge, when combined with predictive power, becomes a force capable of reshaping civilizations. The ability to guide, influence, or even manipulate requires extraordinary caution. Sergey's retreat into discretion and controlled environments was not mere eccentricity. It was a conscious strategy to manage immense responsibility, ensure ethical alignment, and safeguard the integrity of the systems he created. Through this narrative, we observe a profound lesson. Influence and impact are not always proportional to visibility. Sergey Brin's genius is expressed not in public appearances or media acclaim, but in the quiet orchestration of systems, algorithms, and AI initiatives that touch billions daily. This is the dark luxury of power and intellect, the ability to shape the future from the shadows, guided by foresight, ethics, and an intimate understanding of human behavior. As AI continues to evolve, Sergey's influence remains embedded in the digital infrastructure of the modern world. Each search, each recommendation, each predictive suggestion carries a trace of his ethical oversight and strategic foresight. The fear he once felt serves as a guiding principle, ensuring that even as technology surpasses human capabilities, it remains aligned with the values and principles he has championed throughout his career. Sergey Brin's journey is a testament to the complexity of brilliance. He demonstrates that wealth and genius are insufficient without ethical foresight, that technological power must be balanced with responsibility, and that true influence often manifests in silence. His life challenges us to reconsider assumptions about visibility, power, and the nature of progress in an age defined by data, algorithms, and artificial intelligence. Even as the world marvels at the successes of Silicon Valley, the quiet genius of Sergey Brin reminds us that the greatest influence may be imperceptible, operating in the unseen layers of technology, strategy, and foresight. His story is both cautionary and inspirational, revealing the delicate balance between innovation and ethical responsibility in an era of unprecedented technological capability. As this narrative draws to a close, reflect on the power of foresight, discretion, and ethical responsibility. Sergey Brin's fear was not weakness but insight. His retreat into privacy and strategic invisibility ensured that the systems he created could evolve responsibly, guided by principles that few could fully comprehend. This is the essence of his genius, the secret that shaped his actions, and the lesson for anyone navigating the frontier of human and technological ambition. If you've learned something profound from this story, subscribe now and activate notifications. Explore more hidden stories of billionaires, visionaries, and the unseen forces that shape our world. Understand the intersection of power, technology, and ethics, and see how the greatest influence often comes from those who operate quietly, thoughtfully, and strategically. Remember, Sergey Brin is everywhere in the systems that structure our digital reality, yet nowhere in plain sight. His journey is a testament to the necessity of foresight, responsibility, and discretion when wielding unprecedented power. In learning his story, we glimpse not only the mind of a genius, but also the challenges of guiding humanity safely through the age of artificial intelligence.